I'm looking for some downside of this area, because if we do break through, then I'm expecting USD strength for the long run, really back to the highs at 113, 114, back to this area here. So this is a very pivotal level, weekly, monthly level almost. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks to see how we react. So far, we're seeing a bit of bearish momentum, but again, as CS integrated earlier, it could just be temporary, could be a reaction. Again, profit taking as we approach the big level, kind of rightly so. We might see a bit of a reaction at this area, but the bigger move still might be the break of that level, and we still might see price continue to push. So it's a bit of a question mark here, because this level will dictate my bias for the next, like I said, next few weeks, whether we hold or break through. At the moment, I do expect to see at least a dip in the market, because we had a lovely bullish leg here over the past few days. So I do expect at least a bit of a pullback now for the market. And then maybe we go and tack the level again, or maybe reverse. We'll have to wait and see. But I do think USD is due a bit of a breather now, bit of a retracement. It's been so bullish over the past couple of months, really. So I do think a bit of downside is on the cards, and prices starting to struggle a little bit at those heights a little bit. So USD might come down today. Looking at EURUSD, we were looking a little bit bullish this morning as well. So of course, if USD is going to see some downside, EURUSD is going to push up a little bit. And again, rightly so. If you look where we're trading at the weekly chart, same thing as the DXY already. Massive level here, taking that across. You can see we're leaving a little bit of a wick. I'm not going to get too excited yet, because again, that candle still got the rest of the day to close. We potentially could fill a bit of that wick. Maybe we can make it bigger. We'll see on when the candles close and we have a look on the weekend. But at the moment, price is struggling at that level. Prior evidence of price struggling here, and as you can see, really big moves to the upside from those areas, and again over there as well. So possibly we could be in for a third move from that same level. We have to wait and see. Dropping down to the daily chart, again, looking at similar evidence, 4 hours as well. Slight double bottom there with those couple of wicks. So price is struggling. We might push up a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down. So could be some short-term buys, a little bit aggressive, yes, because you're going against all that momentum. But there could be a short-term buy to be had there with Euro. Maybe as we approach some of these levels, we might come down again, or even the low here as well. That would be a nice short, in my opinion, for EURUSD if we can get some pullbacks into those areas. But yeah, it's been such a big move to the downside for Euro. I would just be a little bit careful if you are bearish bias at the moment. And of course, I understand why the market's been falling. Looking to follow momentum, follow the trend, which of course makes perfect sense. But in these areas where buyers will probably be looking to enter the market, might want to be a little bit careful, or just wait for deeper corrections away from that area. So you're back in some bearish territory again. But yeah, it looks like we might be seeing a bit of a bounce there for Euro, Pound USD. Let's take a look. Looking similar, not as bouncy as Euro, but again, we've had a big move to the downside, coming back into some of these critical lows here on the daily chart. Basically these two areas, 1.268, 1.262. I'm looking for a bounce from one of these areas. It looks like we're barely hanging on to that first level, so we might maybe push a little bit deeper back into that low before we go for a bit of a bounce. I still do like the sells with Pound as well, up at that level there. Should the market come back for a retest, I think that's a nice place for a short, around 1.287. Was discussing that earlier this week, but I didn't actually just see the retracement. The market keep falling after CPIs. The market was just very bearish, and USD was very strong. So if you are short bias, you want to see a bit of a correction. The market's been falling a while, great. Now you want price to go for a bit of a breather and find some areas of resistance, supply, where we can find some more sellers and take price lower. And that would be around here, 1.284. Right now, as we approach some daily levels, this is where buyers would be looking to take price higher. Whether they're successful or not, that's a different question. But coming back into these lows, these is where we did have a really big move to the upside last time we were at these prices. So potentially we could expect the same again. So yeah, Pound USD expecting a bounce. Possibly the bigger move is still lower. Same thing with Euro. Aussie dollar, I don't believe we're quite at my level yet, which I'm expecting a bounce from. Again, we've been falling similar to Euro and Pound, but this is really the level which I'm looking for price to bounce from, 0.683, roughly around 0.64. I'm looking for price to come in and then possibly have that bounce, because again, all we're seeing is just that larger range on the higher time frames. So I do think there's a good chance we'll see price come here, react, probably bounce up again. In the meantime, I do think there could be some sells on the retest of this low here. Price has cracked through support pretty well. Nice momentum. We could see some shorter term moves up, react, and then possibly a continuation. So this could be a nice trade maybe for sometime next week, because I highly doubt we'll retrace and continue this week because it's already Friday. But sometime next week, you might see some upside there, some opportunities to short, and a continuation back into that low. And then this is where I think the bigger buyers will step in. We have a bit of a correction. As the USD, similar situation as well. I believe we might actually be trading at the low. Yes, we are. Did we actually get closed below? More or less, we did. But still kind of in that vicinity. So I'll still be looking for that bounce. How are we looking in the 4-hour chart? Similar to EURUSD, evidence of us slowing down, but nothing really critical there. It'd be nice if we can push up, maybe double bottom that, and then possibly see some upside. But if we are going to see a big push to the upside from New Zealand dollar, I would expect it to be either those lows or this one here. You can see prior really big reactions at that area. So even though the market is particularly bearish, now's not the best time to be looking to sell unless we to come up again and find some areas maybe around 0.59, 595 around here to short. The market is definitely due a pullback. And then onto gold and silver. Gold, we had a little bit of upside, but not much really. You can see a bit of a reaction. I'm expecting a deeper pullback from gold back into the low here at least. And even better if we can pull back into this low here, that would be great. But yeah, gold's just looking really bearish at the moment. So it's difficult to see that upside. I still think we are due a correction because the market's been falling really aggressively since the high there at October. Was that mid-October or end October? Yeah, end of October. We've been falling to the downside really aggressively. So I do think price is due a bit of a pullback, bit of upside. The bigger move still may be to the downside for gold from one of these two areas. But in the moment in time, I do think we can go through a bit of a pullback. So yeah, expecting more downside for gold. But first, I do want to see a bit of a bullish reaction. And then speaking on silver, which I currently am long, I did jump into a position yesterday around 2 p.m. So shortly after the stream ended, I'm long there off this low here. This is the level I said if price is going to hold on to, I'll happily find an entry to go long. This is my first target, which is roughly around 1.5 me, back into that high there because possibly price might want to turn around. And being a bit more aggressive with my management with this one because, as I said, I do think gold and silver probably do still have some more downside in the future. So in theory, what would my plan would be if I can get some nice buys going with gold, eventually take profits and hopefully find some sells. Buys on silver and some sells on gold later on. So I'm buying the retracement and then hopefully sell the continuation at a later date. Sort of what I was trying to do with EURUSD. Did manage to take advantage of the retracement, but unfortunately didn't get the entry for the continuation. So yeah, as we approach the massive low, you can see massive rejection at that area. Nice bullish engulfing in the 4 hour. That was my entry signal. Looking to see if we can get some upside, at least back into that area there. Preferably, I do have a daily level up here, which I'm looking at as well, which is around this low, this high here, 32.09. That would be my end target. I'll probably just pull profits at that point because that is a very big level. And then we'll see what we can do from there. Maybe we break through, maybe we continue lower, but I'll be looking at probably gold at that point to see if I can find some shorts. And that's, of course, if we do see some upside there. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with USD, to be honest. I'm looking for that retracement. Price has been exceptionally bullish. Maybe we're going to continue that bullish momentum, but it looks like we might go through some retracement. Dollar looking like it's a little bit tired at the moment as well. So I do think maybe over the next few days we might see some USD weakness, which could help out some gold retracement, some silver retracement. Then maybe price will continue later on.